Today we are going to talk about effective interest rate. So what we've noticed, remember yesterday we were talking about the nominal rate being the per annum rate. And then remember when we divided it by 12 and then we were getting a monthly rate. But we said the nominal is always the yearly rate. So remember when we were talking about it and I said that what would we prefer? If we had an investment, would we prefer to have the interest compounded monthly or yearly? Monthly. You said monthly. Why was that?
Because it keeps going up.
Yeah, because monthly, you saw that you got more money, didn't you? Remember when we looked at that 4 years, we saw if it was compounded monthly, it created you more money than yearly. So what happens is, overall, you actually, even though, say, the yearly rate was 4.8, when it's paid out monthly, you got more. So effectively, it was a bigger interest rate. Yeah? And so that's what that effective interest rate is. They calculate what it actually was when you did it monthly. So if we go down there, so the more frequently we, I'm just reading off here, the more frequently interest is calculated and added to your investment, the more rapid that your value of your investment increases. So interest is earned can be expressed as a percentage. So when you get to the end of that 4 years, we could actually work out how much interest it was according to as a percentage. And that's where you're going to see this effective interest rate. So what I've actually got here, sorry, this was actually a table. And it should look like that. So we looked at this example where we had 5,000 and it was the nominal annual interest rate was 4.8. So we're just going to look at 1 year. So at 1 year, when we had 4.8% per annum, you got a percentage amount of 240. When we changed it to quarterly, which was 1.2% every quarter, you saw that you earned, can you see how you earned $244.35? So that was a little bit more. Now, if I change it to monthly, which means I divided that rate by, so you might just want to put that there so you can see that's 4.8 divided by 12 equals 0.4. That's how I'm finding that. So when I did it monthly, I got even more money of 245. So effectively, the interest rate is going to be higher. So let's have a look. If I did this first one, if I do 240, that's how much money I earned or got interest on, over 5,000 times 100, because I'm trying to get a percentage, you'll get 4.8. If I do this next one and I do $244.35 divided by 5,000 times by 100, you'll see I get 4.89%. So that 4.89 is the effective interest rate. Even though they're going to say it was 4.8%, but compounding quarterly, I effectively got 4.89%. Per annum. And if I do that last one, 0.35 divided by 5,000 times 100, we'll end up with 4.91% per annum. Okay, now there is, alright, so this did not come up. There is an effective interest rate formula which you don't ever have to manually do this formula. We'll just pop it in our notes so we have it, but you will probably need to I'll show you how to do it on the calculator very easily. But anyway, the formula for effective interest rate, so it would be an R, but we're gonna call it R effective. This is the formula, so just in case you get asked in a question. So it's 1 plus, that would be the R rate per annum over N, which would be the number of times it's compounded. So if it was monthly, it would be 12 over 100 to the power of N minus 1 times 100%. Okay, but as I said, we're just going to have it in our notes in case, but I'll show you, I'm going to pause it now and show you how we do it on our calculator. Okay, so just to go over, the increasing number of compounds per year will increase the total interest earned or paid. Okay, over. Did it go on to the next? No, it didn't. So going over here to do this example, Brooke would like to borrow $20,000. She is deciding between two loans. So the option A has a 5.9% per annum. So that is telling you the nominal, and compounded weekly, that means PPY would be what? How many times a year is it? 52. My God. All right, and then if it was quarterly, PPY would equal 4. So can you see how it's a little bit hard to compare because they're giving you different nominal rates. So normally, weekly would pay out more, wouldn't it? Yeah, because the more times you compound. But now we've got the quarterly is giving a higher percentage. So it's a little bit hard to compare which one is which. So down here, I have done it on the calculator. So we've done those two. So we did the nominal rate, comma, 52. And then here, the nominal rate, which is 6%, comma, 4. So you look here, and if we summarize this to, let's just say 2 decimal places, we get 6.13%, and then this one is 6.14%. Yeah? So which one would she want if she's borrowing? Which one does she want if she's borrowing? Yeah, she wants this one, yeah, if she's borrowing money. So borrowing money means you want the lower one, because you don't want to pay the bank back as much, do you? Yeah? So you want the lower. If it was an investment, she'd want the other one. Okay? So here is an exam question. So once again, remember I told you about this. This indicates how many got it correct. So only 54% of the state got it correct. So Daniel borrows $5,000, which he intends to repay fully in a lump sum after 1 year. The annual interest rate and compounding period for 5 different compound interest loans are given below. Okay, so when fully repaid, the loan that will cost Daniel the least amount of money. So he wants not to gain as much. So you want, in the end, you want the least amount of compounding, don't you? Least amount of compounding happening, and you also want the lowest interest rate that you can get. So you need to compare them. So the best way to compare them is to use the effective interest rate. So here, if I was working out the effective interest rate, it'd be EFF 12.6, comma, what will it be if it's weekly? Andre, 52, yeah. And then if we do EFF for this one, it'll be 12.8, comma, compounding weekly, 52. Now, if they're both weekly and 12.8 is 52, because he wants to pay back the loan, you'd get rid of this one straight away because it's worse, isn't it? Yeah, so get rid of that. We know that's worse. 12.9 is a higher interest rate, isn't it? And at weekly, so will we get rid of that? Get rid of that. 12.7% is higher, but it's only going quarterly, so we might need to check that one out. So we'll go 12.7, comma, 4. I'll do that one in a minute. And 13.2% quarterly, we'll get rid of that. That's too high compared to the one before. So let's go do them on the calculator. Okay, so we've done the effective interest rates. So you want the lowest because this is a loan. So which one do we want? 4, which is D.